Hi guys, welcome! In the upcoming Tears of the Tyrant episode update, various skill adjustments and balance tweaks will be introduced for less popular job classes and builds. So we'll break down these significant changes across various classes and discuss their implications for your gameplay. In the first part of this series, we'll take a look at the changes impacting the Sage, Occultist, Hela, and Priest classes. So whether you're a seasoned player seeking to adapt to the evolving meta, or a new player trying to navigate the intricate gameplay of ROM, this video is just for you. Alright, without further ado, let's begin. First, we have several buffs to the Bolter build of Sage class. First, the Field Lord rune has a new third line effect wherein an elemental field increases the corresponding elemental counter coefficient for you and your teammates within range by 0.15 against all elements. The generation probability for this line is 100%, and all existing runes will directly activate this line. To demonstrate its impact, my Firebolt's damage against an Earth element dummy while inside the range of Fire Field was initially 47.4 million. However, when I activated my Field Lord rune with a new third line effect, the damage increased to 52.8 million. This 11.4% boost in damage results from the increase in elemental counter coefficient of my Firebolt against Earth element from 2 to 2.15 thanks to this third line effect. Another example can be found in the damage of my Chronology Bolt against a Ghost element dummy, which started at 14 million. Yet after activating my Field Lord rune with the new third line effect, the damage soared to 22.3 million, marking an almost 60% improvement in damage. The reason is that the elemental counter coefficient for my neutral element bolt against Ghost element increased from 0.25 to 0.4 thanks to this new third line effect. Thus, the new line effect significance becomes more apparent when you face elements to which you have a disadvantage. Second, we have an adjustment to the third line effect of the Sufficient Magic Energy rune. It no longer merely adds one extra attack chance to Magic Fist, instead it makes Magic Fist unlimited. This change allows Sage's auto attacks to proc the chosen bolt for a limited number of times throughout Magic Fist's 10-second duration, thereby greatly enhancing Chronomancer's damage output. Take note that the probability to get this line is still at 6%, so you can already try to roll for it even before the update arrives if you haven't got one yet. Third, another change affecting Magic Fist is that its cooldown at lower levels is adjusted to 10 seconds at all levels. Thus, it's still advised to max out Magic Fist to level 10 in order to reduce the attack speed penalty from 50% to 25%. While the 10-second cooldown of Magic Fist remains fixed and cannot be reduced, this buff can still be maintained 100% of the time because it also lasts for 10 seconds only. And fourth, the Mental Disruption rune introduces a new third line effect wherein each attack will raise your own M-Pen by 1%, lasting for 10 seconds, and it can stack up to 30 times. Thus, your attacks will no longer just apply M-Def and M-Damage Reduction debuff to the enemy, but will also provide up to 30% M-Pen buff for yourself. The generation probability for this line is 100%, and all existing runes will directly activate this line. After conducting some tests, these adjustments greatly enhance my Chronomancer's damage output in Komodo instances. The only downside of using Chronomancer in the current late-game instances is a lack of an innate anti-fatal and insufficient sustain capabilities. Hence, the Horn of the Unyielding Ancient Relic and the Seed of Yggdrasil card remain essential for soloing these instances. Next, let's take a look at the buffs for the Occultist class. First, Soul of the Ninja can now be casted on oneself when no teammate is selected. Thus, Soulbinders will no longer need to depend on another Soulbinder in the party to eliminate the fixed cast time of skills and receive an M-Pen boost. Additionally, Soulbinders can now switch between Soul of the Ninja and Soul of the Sage to benefit from Kahe and Soul Whisper, which can restore their own HP, and Kaizel, which can automatically resurrect themselves upon death. Hence, this change will not only impact the damage output and user-friendliness of Soulbinders, but also their survivability in both PvE and PvP. Another change for Occultist is the reduction in the cooldown of Eska from 3.5 seconds to 1.5 seconds. As a result, DPS build Soulbinders, especially those equipped with the Soul Anthem star card, can execute the Eska and Esme rotation more rapidly. Next, we have 2 buffs for the Hela hero class. First, Fatal Dream is now capable of executing enemies that meet the HP condition, even if the damage does not connect. This means that even if the attack misses or gets blocked by a shield, the insta-kill effect of Fatal Dream will still proc on low HP targets. With the skill's improved functionality, I think Hela will be far more lethal in PvP. And second, Garm will have an additional effect that grants a 1-second immunity to damage when resisting fatal blows. Although the immunity period is quite short, it still offers a window of opportunity, especially for highly skilled and mechanical players to escape or fight back. And lastly, we have the balance adjustments for the Priest class. First, Badir's Arya will have a shorter cooldown, from 42 seconds down to 34 seconds. This will significantly increase the frequency at which Saints can use the self-resurrection skill, improving their survivability in battle. Second, Badir's Crown and Huddle Swings can now be used at the same time. This will enable full support Saints to maintain the Cure Barrier debuff for longer periods and double the pain release through damage inflicted on enemies. In addition, they can now benefit from the Night God Psy passive, which reduces the attack and magic attack of the enemy when the Saint dies under Huddle Swings passive. And third, Cure Barrier will no longer affect mini and MVP monsters, so you can no longer use it to cancel the healing effects of boss monsters such as Soul Player, Witch of Calamity, Mabel Fairy Isma, and Sharky in Palace of Beauty. So that's it for the class balance adjustments for Sage, Occultist, Hela, and Priest coming next month in ROM. Which of these classes will shine in the current PvE and PvP meta? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay tuned for the next part of this series wherein we'll focus on the skill adjustments and balance tweaks for the Hunter, Performer, Gunslinger, and Rogue classes. Alright, that's it for this video guys. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed watching this guide. If you're new here, I'd love for you to consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you back. Thank you for watching and see you in our next episode.